Hello, I'm April Brown with Zelken Financial Services, LLC, and I'm back with the tip. Today's illuminated point. So, this is week five of the decade series. And we're talking about the 60s. Woo! There are a lot of significant things happening during the 60s or in this particular decade. And so I'm just going to hit on three things. But know this, I am going to interview somebody because I still think it's important to ask that one question. The 3 points that I want to talk about are retirement, Social Security, and working again. So let's talk about retirement. If you're in your 60s, most people are considering retirement because they're nearing the end of their career or they're getting close to what would be considered retirement for the organization or the job or wherever they're working at. So when you're thinking about this, I have a fun fact for you. Fun fact is, if you're in your 60s, you're what we call a baby boomer. You were born between the ages of 1946, the years between 1946 and 1964. Baby boomers at one point in time were the largest generation. They're not. They're the second largest. Guess who's outpaced them? The millennials. And so currently, there are 10,000 baby boomers retiring every single day. I said it, 10,000 every single day. That sure is a lot of folks leaving the workforce and going into retirement. So there are several things based off of the folks that I've talked to, potential clients, some clients who I've worked with. And the things that they're thinking about is this: can I retire? Do I have enough money to retire with? And what does my I call it my income retirement or my retirement income really look like? And so those are just a couple of questions that people ask. And so during this time, most folks are, usually meeting with their financial advisor, their financial planner, or somebody in the financial industry to determine what they need to do in this next, kind of like segment or this next venture into their life. Because when you're retiring and you're leaving a job and you're no longer working that kind of 9 to 5 or from 8 to 4:30 or whatever the time period is, your time becomes yours. And so what does that look like? And so just know, and I've been saying this throughout all my videos, not just this one, you got to have a plan. Have a plan. It's really important. You don't have to talk to me, but you got to talk to somebody. Have a plan. So the second point that I want to talk about is Social Security. So during this particular decade, in your 60s, most people take Social Security. So the question is, when taking Social Security, when should you take it? How old should you be? So you got the earliest you can take Social Security is at age 62. However, know this, you're going to get reduced benefits. The next age is age 66 and 10 months. That's when you can get full benefits. Now, why am I saying 66 and 10 months? Because there's a group of people who are either born before 1959 up to 1959 that can actually retire at age 66 and 10 months. Anybody born after 1960 or 1960 thereafter, you get to retire at age 67. So just know, that's why you got two different ages in terms of full benefits. But full benefits are going to be like you get the whole kit and caboodle. Now, I haven't mentioned this, age 70. If you wait until age 70, you can get like way more. So when we're talking about people who are 66 to 10 months, if you wait to age 70 in about 4 years, you can earn like an additional like 32% increase in your Social Security. However, there's some other things to think about. Anyway, so let me just say I've been talking to folks who are in their 60s. And so for me to have a better understanding of what they're encountering, especially when you're talking about Social Security, I picked up this fabulous book. It's called Get What's Yours. So now Get What's Yours is by a guy named Lawrence J. Kolikoff. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Philip Moeller and Paul Suleman, the three authors of this book. I purchased this, and I actually got it on Audible too because I wanted to listen to it and, read it also. And this has been a gem, but let me just say it's been eye-opening and quite damn intense. It's a lot of information. There are a lot of examples that they give. The examples are very, they're helpful in the process, but I'm going to say Social Security, for all intents and purposes, is pretty damn complicated. And of course, based off the book, they're like, yeah, they make it complicated. And I can see that. So when you are thinking about Social Security and when to take it, I'm going to say purchase the book. Purchase the book. It is definitely worth the coins that you're going to spend. Get the Audible, listen to it also. But what I will say is get with a professional to help you with Social Security. And I don't mean the professionals who work in the Social Security administration. I mean somebody who doesn't work in the administration. Because based off the book and some of the examples that they give, it's terrible. They don't necessarily know some of the things that are in this book and will, I venture to say, steer you wrong. And so the potential of leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars of benefits on the table is a possibility. So take the time out to find somebody who can really walk you through the steps. Or you can just email or, get on PBS special with this guy, Larry. Lawrence Larry. He's the one who does a PBS special. He talks about Social Security. He answers questions. They write a column. It's a lot. But I'm going to tell you, get the book to at least have a basis, and then reach out to somebody because it's pretty serious, and you don't want to make the mistake of filing too early or filing too late or whatever. It's just complicated. So that's all I'll say in reference to Social Security. So the third point I want to talk about is working again. Yes, there are people who retire and then decide, I don't want to stop working. And they don't. So they either, because they're good at what they do, they continue to stay in that field, so they become a contract worker. There are other people who are like, I've always wanted to pursue X, Y, and Z, so I'm going to pursue that. And I'm going to start, another career in that particular thing. Or there are other people who, have been doing something, stopped it, and decided to pick it back up. Either way, they're going back to work again. And so the 60s are not, yes, you can retire. Yes, you can collect your Social Security. However, there are people who are like, well, you know what? I'm young and I still want to work. So what I say to that is this. When you go back to work again, if you're getting retirement and you're getting your Social Security, then you probably want to have a plan about what that all looks like and how that all plays out in terms of what can be affected inadvertently without you knowing about it. So definitely have a plan for the working again. I will say that, when I was in law enforcement and as I watched people retire from my department, one of the things that I always was concerned about was what we call institutional knowledge. And so there are people who've worked, they've got all this knowledge and they've got all of these things that they've done, seen come, circle back around, come back again, leave, come back again. And so if you're the kind of person who has institutional knowledge, maybe your job says, okay, we don't necessarily, you can retire, but can you still work with us as a contract worker? Because we still want to tap into that. So, there are a myriad of reasons why people, go back to work and why they continue to work. But, some of that, just some of those things that I think about. And the other piece is like, if you've been in an industry for 30 years and like you're an expert at it, why not continue to capitalize on it? 60 is what, the new 50? Hell, 70 is the new the new 50 sometimes.
I wanna see you drop to the beat in the club.
And so as I'm working with different people and talking to different people, what I realize is that, folks are still wanting to work because, they don't really want to necessarily sit down and retire in the sense that, what people think about in terms of retirement. And so that's all I got for the working again. Otherwise, stay tuned for the interview that's going to occur after this. And the lovely lady, she's in her 60s, and I hope you enjoy it. And I am April Brown with Zelken Financial Services, LLC. Thank you, and I hope you got something out of this. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and have a good day.
I wanna see you drop to the